So here we are in St. Johnsbury at mile 0, about to start the Lamoille Valley Rail Trail from end to end. We're going east to west today. We're gonna go from St. Johnsbury all the way over to Swanton and check out this remarkable piece of Vermont riding. I do know that there's a closure at about a mile in because of damage to the trail that happened during the floods, which hasn't yet been repaired. But because this effort is to do the entire trail, I'm gonna ride to that closure so we can check it out, show you what it looks like, and then hopefully show you how to get around it and pick the trail back up at the next opportunity. Let's get ready to ride. Okay, so we're at the first closure, just a mile in, actually less than that, and there's definitely no way forward here, so we're gonna take a detour. They have some recommendations here. They are talking about Route 2B, so we'll check that out. It's probably where we're gonna go. We'll pick it up in Danville, not too far along. It's just about 4 to 5 miles from here. Okay, so we made it to an intersection just on the outside of Danville where they're pointing to the Goodfellas Tavern, which is where the signage indicated to pick up the trail again. Looking ahead here, I don't see any closure signs. Over there I do. That's going back the way I came. So I think we're back on the trail. I know there's one more detour coming up, but it's a short one. So hopefully we'll be mostly smooth sailing from here. So those first 5 miles, I'm not gonna lie, were pretty challenging. It was all paved roads, all on asphalt, so nothing too extreme. But there were climbs of like 12-13% gradient. Definitely did some work, but I'm kind of grateful for it because I know overall this route is very flat. And having done very flat 100-mile rides before, it's just a different kind of torture. Eventually it starts to feel like you're just on a trainer because you can never coast. You never get reprieve. You don't have to work very hard to go forward, but there's no rest. I think those hills were a good warm-up, and I'll probably be missing them in about 60 miles. On we go to Danville. So this is the Danville station. The old train station building is still here. And this is a good spot to show you one of the cool things about the rail trail, which is that there are several stations along the way that have pumps and bike stands where you can fix any mechanicals you may have encountered along the way. And they've got bike tools inside the bike stand. Screwdrivers, Allen wrenches, all kinds of things. On top of that, you can scan a QR code and get some help fixing stuff that you might not know how to fix. Self-service bike shop. Everything you need. All right, here's the other detour. Trail closed. I checked this out before I left and it seems to be pretty short. So I'm just gonna double check where I'm going and we'll see you on the other side. There we have it. Quick little jaunt, less than a mile. No big deal. We're in West Danville now, and this is Joe's Pond. We just crossed over into Cabot, home of the world's greatest cheddar. Not a terrible way to spend a day. is the intersection with the Bayley Hazen Military Road. Very famous road in Vermont. We have a video on that one too. We rode that one end to end a couple years ago. Check it out. Put a link to it up here or maybe over here or in the description, or just subscribe to our channel and you'll see it. Greensboro Bend, one of the spots with a parking area where you can hop on and off the trail. Got a mural showcasing the history and features of the town. Very nice. Just rolled into Hardwick, past the old train station building, which is now the Historical Society. Right down the hill in town, there's a great place to get coffee, food, and at the station there's water and a toilet if you need to make just a quick stop. But if you want to stop for a little longer, Hardwick's definitely a good candidate for lunch. I've been on the road for about 2 hours and 20 minutes so far. So I'm not quite ready to stop. I'm gonna press on for a little while yet. So I just stopped at mile marker 46 and I wanted to see how much further it is to Lost Nation Brewing, which is where I was planning on stopping for lunch. And it's not too much farther, but they are closed. They are closed on Wednesdays. Today is Wednesday. So that's a bummer. I gotta figure out where I'm gonna go instead. Okay, so I stopped in Morristown for lunch. I'm not gonna mention the name of the place because they were not very accommodating. It was kind of a pain in the butt. But we did get fueled and resupplied some snacks and electrolytes at a nearby convenience store. And we are going to head on for the second half of this ride. And not too long, we should go past Lost Nation Brewing, which is where I wanted to stop for lunch. So I'll at least show you where you should go, as long as you're not riding on a Wednesday. There you go. Lost Nation Brewing, right at mile marker 49. That's the place to be. In, and my legs do not feel great. As mentioned, relentless, non-stop pedaling with no real particular challenge except just go straight forever. Takes a toll. Cambridge cornfields had a headwind coming in from the west all day. The problem is that I'm only going west. Good thing I fueled up when I did, because once you get past like Cambridge Junction,
the distance between towns is pretty great. The first half, it was like every, I don't know, 4 or 5 miles, there was a town. But now, it's more like every 10. And the towns are much smaller. And in between, there's nothing. We are in the middle of nowhere. Beaver ponds, swamps, wetlands, just nothing. No roads anywhere, no road crossings, no parallel roads. They're just out there. Which is great, but come prepared. I just spooked a great blue heron about 10 feet away from me. I was a little too late on the trigger to get it on camera, I think. 82 miles, 10 to go, thereabouts. I'm pretty well cooked. Daylight's fading. We got a while yet. Things out here continue to be remote. I'm in some town called Sheldon, apparently. I've never heard of it. But that's what the sign said. All right, let's finish this off. Made it to Swanton, mile 94, and we are now on the town of Swanton's recreation path, which is a mile long and asphalt. And at the end is the end. That'll be 95 miles all the way across Vermont, from New Hampshire to Lake Champlain. Thanks for coming along this journey with me, you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you like this one, be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.